classic fishing problem. Temps drop, the shallows are suddenly void of life, the bass have seemed to disappear. However, after this, you'll know the first place to look, at least where I look, with confidence. And the best part is, I find these fish in what I like to call depth manageable situations. In other words, in areas less than 20 feet deep. When I filmed underwater, I had 40-degree water temps, bright sunshine, and while there is some open water, as you can see here, there is still ice on much of the lake. We are going to break down the 4 key factors I notice every time out through all seasons when this seems to happen. Number 1, bass will get right to the deepest part in the middle, and like I said, I'm talking areas less than 20 feet deep. This spot I'm filming today bottoms out at 8 feet. If you want to simplify your fishing on super tough days, try to locate areas on your waters that have this manageable depth. This lake has lots of spots 40 to 50 feet deep. I'm not interested in those. I want to scale down where I'm looking for bass. They were here in this location before the temps dropped again and in shallow water. In my experience, while some bass will move quite a distance, there are many fish that don't go all that far when conditions abruptly shift. Number 2, while there still will be groups of fish, they are slightly more spread out than when hanging tight to shallow cover. Most often, these flat, featureless bottom areas in the middle of a bay, pocket, or pond don't have much going on. In fact, when you look at this footage, you may be thinking there is literally nothing here. Now, I do have some old tires that hold fish, but that's about it. But what I want you to notice is that the bass are spread out more than if these same fish were hanging under something like a dock. That's actually good news for us as anglers. It gives us better odds of dropping a lure in front of one. Number 3, the edge formed by the shoreline slope and the bottom is always where I start looking. This feature can be clearly seen here. This area gets so much use from bass when cold fronts hit. They travel along it all the time. Once you locate that edge, then start to investigate farther and farther towards the middle of the bay or pocket you are fishing. As I mentioned a minute ago, all these bass here are holding in the middle of this bay. This is great news for shore anglers. You naturally throw to these areas all the time. It's more of a mental obstacle course for boat anglers to unlock themselves from the bank and turn around. Number 4, the bass almost always hang about the same distance off the bottom. Look at these fish here. Every one of them is sitting or cruising at about that same physical distance from the lake bed. In other words, in these more depth manageable pockets, I don't see them suspended very often higher in the water column, like you would, let's say, in deeper areas of the lake. That's a win for anglers. You know right away which areas to check. The arsenal of lures you could use here is vast. And if you like this type of stuff, go ahead and check out my link below to the Bass Behavior Bundle, where we cover all types of different bass behaviors. And if you would like to watch a video that goes over what I think is one of the biggest mistakes we make in regards to crayfish and lures that imitate them this time of year, go ahead and check this video out right here, and make sure that you go ahead and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.